So recently I purchased a Wowstick from Banggood, and this is going to be a quick unboxing, so let's get it out. So I bought it on special. It's the 1F Plus model, which comes with a number of accessories and a little pack. This is the rechargeable version with a lithium ion battery in it already. I bought it on special, about £25, delivered to the UK. It took about a week to get here. It's very quick. To make things a little bit easier, I have already removed the plastic from one end, but I've not got anything, not taken the bits out yet. So let's see what it's like. The box is actually quite nice. So it is 69 in one because it comes with loads of little screwdriver heads and stands and things. Bit of a product description on the back of the box there, a few languages. Nothing else very exciting. So let's slide it out and see what we've got. So first thing we come across says I'm a screw pad. Now I believe this is a small pad for putting your screws on while you're working. That's quite nice. It's got a nice feel to it. It's flexible, quite weighty, but also I'm led to believe from other reviews that it is magnetic. So as you take screws out, you can just place them down. It's got a nice checkerboard, so you can keep them in order, and yeah, it should actually hold onto the screws rather than rolling across the floor, which is what usually happens for me. Let's place this one over here. Okay, let's see what else we've got. So we have a few boxes. It's really nicely presented in the package. Everything's labels, accessories, bits, base, case. So this one's got a tab, so that comes out first. There's I'm a case, accessories. Let's pop that out. Oh, it's white. Let's have a look. Looks like a very thin glasses case. Just pops over, and little magnets both sides there. And enough space to hold some bits inside, so we'll check that out later on once we've unpacked the rest. That's quite nice. Put this here. What's this one? I'm a base, it says. More accessories. So it's quite weighty. It's nice piece of feels like anodized aluminium. Whether or not it is, I don't know. Probably not. Quite weighty, like a bit of a pad on the bottom so it won't slide around. That's quite cute. Quite cute. This is apparently a toolbox, it says. A toolbox. Okay, inside we've got, let's just slide those things out. The cardboard, like that. Ah, so we've got a magnetizer, demagnetizer. It's a small one there to demagnetize the bits, or magnetize them if you're working with things that it's much easier. That's quite helpful. We've got a very strange little glass jar for some reason, because, you know, everyone needs a small glass jar with, I guess, demo screws. That's strange. A very tiny micro USB cable for charging. One of those plectrum style picks for opening up electronic devices, and a very tiny suction cup. I have a few kits with suction cups in, and that is by far the smallest one I've come across. I can't imagine that is very much use. Right, to get into the actual nitty-gritty of it. So we have looks like 4 little packets, very similar shapes. This one said it's bits group with X1. That's not the best English, but there we go. So that's just the first tube of bits, predominantly Phillips heads from 0000, quad 0, all the way up to number 2. So 4D0s, 000, 00, 0, 1, 2. Quite a good selection of Phillips heads. Got slotted ones, just the flat head ones. They're from 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5 and 4. Assuming that's probably millimeters. And then we've got some hex. I've got 0.7, 0.9, 1.3, 1.5, 2, 2.5 and 3 for the hex ones. Tells me to open this end, so I shall do so. Pop that out. Oh, okay. That's quite clever. So the end is rubbery, but it's actually attached to the sleeve inside of all the bits. So you won't lose the lid when you undo it. So that's actually quite a nice little feature. The bits are quite nicely finished. I mean, they've got that oily coat on them that you get from new products, particularly the Chinese sort of products import stuff. And each one is actually labelled with what it is. So that's the Wow, obviously it's the Wowstick. SL slot and 0.4. What else have we got? There's a Phillips head on this one. It says PH 000. Again, very nicely finished. No messy burrs on the edges. So hopefully they're going to work quite well. I think they'll be slightly better than the last one I bought, which was a little Chinese import kit for about £3, which is pretty rubbish to be honest. I still use it, but it's pretty rubbish. So that's box X1. Box X2. Again, it says I'm a bits group with X2. Doesn't actually make any sense, but there you go. And this one we've got another hex. So that one finished at hex 3. This has got a hex 4.0 in it. That's a shame they couldn't get the boxes to kind of marry up quite nicely. And then we've got some Torx heads. So a whole load of those. T2, 3, T4, T5, T6 and T7. And then we've got the Torx, like the star heads, but with the center point as well. So and there are T8, T9, T10, T15 and a T20. Then we've got the 5-point stars. Not really come across many of those. P2, P5, P6. And then we've got one that they've labelled as Y. I'm not sure what that is, why it's called Y, but it's the 3-point star. I'll try and do some close-up shots later on when they edit. Again, slides out, hopefully. Yep, nice rubbery cap, slides straight out. The bits are, I mean, some of those bits are incredibly tiny, but the finish actually looks pretty good. They look quite accurate, so we'll try them out in a minute. That's X2, X3. Here we go. Are you getting there? X3 set. What's this one say? So in this one we've got square bits. So we have 3 square bits, SO, S1 and S2. Then we've got triangle bits, 2.0, 2.3, 2.5 and 3.0. And then we've got the kind of those security ones, the 2 pins with a gap in between, 2 flat pins. It's like a flat head that's got a lump taken out of it. We've got the U20, U2.0, U2.6 and a U2.3. Then there is one which is just, I'm assuming, a circle punch. It's just a circular ring, but it says 0.8, so I might that's a 0.8mm diameter circle point. Probably use for poking bits out on watch straps, that sort of thing. Then we've got a strange one, which is a cross with a point in the middle of it. I have to look at that one. That's W1.5. And then additionals, we've got an extra Phillips head 0 with some script characters which I don't understand. A PH2 again with that, an SL2 and a H2. So I'm not sure if these are particularly different ones, but we'll have a look at those in a second. Let's slide them out actually and see what they are. I have a feeling these might be, oh dear, first one fell off. I'll have to fix that later. Oh, they just fell straight out of the bottom, that's helpful. But yes, they are longer bits. So the same size, that's a PH0, Phillips head 0. Again, but it's just longer body one, which is potentially quite useful for some applications. I'm hoping that the other ones are both here, yep, good. Slot those back in. Yeah, it's a nice set. Bits are well made. Let's just pop that down there. There we go. Don't know how well that's going to last then, if they've all fallen out, but there we go. Slot that in back into there, and let's look at what we really paid the money for this today, which is the screwdriver itself. I've got very greasy fingers now. I have to clean some of those off if I'm going to use them regularly. Obviously there's the usual bit of paperwork on the bottom telling you that it's a screwdriver and no, don't kill anybody. Okay, here it is. So this says I'm a dual power screwdriver. So it looks like you might be able to use it while it's actually connected to USB at the same time. So here it is. It's quite nice. 2 buttons, well, 1 flat button, and the charge point on the end there. Lights on the front. Well, I think that's the light. So it's actually kind of a transparent plastic on the end there with the hex. There's a little bit of play, but we'll give that a go and see what it looks like. But there it is. That's the Wowstick. It says precision screwdriver dual power mix. So let's try one of the buttons. There we go. So it has got quite a nice light on it there. It's not too noisy. 1 speed forward, 1 speed reverse. So that speed is not selectable. But it's nicely made, it's very light. But it doesn't feel cheap. But it's nice and like a nice weight. And I can imagine that's actually quite nice to use. I've got something with me to try it out on, so I will make a bit of space and I will do that now. Hang on to that. And I'm going to need some hex nuts, what I've been doing. I bought this because I'm doing a lot of project work currently, with particularly with Arduino, making different models. And obviously it's nice to screw things together well and properly, but at the same time it's not very fun when when you're screwing things in and out with long hex nuts, because I get a lot of pain in my wrist when I'm screwing lots and lots of them, so that's why I would rather not. So I think I'll hang on to this, my little screwdriver pad. And this is the stand, I guess we can try it out now. Oh, it has got the logo, I didn't see that. It has got the little Wowstick logo on the front there. So let's put it, the stand's on it. A bit wobbly, it's a bit of a wobbly fit, but once it's there, it's not going to fall over, I don't think. Not without someone giving it a little push. So let's see, alright, I brought this over. So this is one of the things that I'm working on currently. It's just like a MIDI foot pedal with a bunch of keys. But as I'm working on it, I need to make some changes to it. So hex nuts on the back there, they're not too bad, but on the bottom, it's held in usually with 7 little hex bolts, which I've used them ones that are far too long anyway, so I'm just in and out, in and out, in and out all the time. So let's have a look if I can find the right size from the set over here. This is the, oh no, that's the bottom. Okay, the bottom doesn't come open. Let's see what size. I'm pretty sure I was using a 3. Let's just check. Is it that one? What size? That's a 1.5. That's definitely going to be too small for me. Oh no, that might be the right one. I thought I was using a 2, so let's try that. Well, I might not be. Nope, I'm using a 1.5. There we go. It's nice to have a big enough set to be able to try out as well. Pop it up. Straight in, lovely. I've not magnetized that yet, but I might try that later on. So let's go for it. Straight in there. It's got quite a lot of torque, so much so that it spun it off my hand. These are in quite tight. So let's give it a go. And there we go. It takes a bit to get going. Once it's going, usually because of the how narrow the M3 bolts are, whatever, M2.5. They usually take forever to screw in, and it's only a short one. Oh, I should be putting on here really. Does that work? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. You see, it takes a little bit to go because I've put these in quite tightly. So actually, as it starts, it takes a bit of a grip. So actually, I'm able to turn it to help it get going there. This one might be easier. Let's go over. Yeah, see, it's actually locking there. It's trying to go, but it can't. So if I lock it, and then I give it a little bit of a twist, it'll come. But actually, that little screw, it appears that the head isn't very central, which is part of the problem I think it was having there. Actually, it was trying to turn it centrally, obviously, and it's not. But yeah, they came out quite nicely, quite easy. We'll put those back in again. Give it another go. It runs quite quickly. From looking at the original Wowstick, this is actually, I can't remember the figures, but this, I'm looking at this, is twice as fast as the original. But again, it is only one speed, so if you don't want to be going fast, if you want precision that's very slow, probably don't get this one. Very nice. One thing that I do think is a little bit odd is that and I find this with those little handheld personal kind of power drills, little screwdriver ones, is that the light only comes on once you're fully pressing, so there's no, I'm not able to do like a pre-press almost. Like with a camera where you do the pre-focus and then the click. It would be nice to be able to just rest a thumb on it, the light to come on, and then a full press for the actual, the drill bit to go in. I probably quite like that, to be honest, but there you go. You see, it's quite quick. Drives it off. That is going to save me a lot of pain in my wrist later on. As long as I'm not using it in the evening, because it's quite a strange whirring little noise, but it's good. It's nice. It's very neat. Let's just try it out in the case. So let's pop this one back away. I guess I assume, looking at it, it's made so that you can use the stand whilst there is a bit attached, which is good. Although I don't imagine it will fit when using the extended drill bits, screw bits, because they're going to get caught. There we go. Pop that back away. Now these are the ones I'm probably going to use the most. Because it is the hex nuts that I use generally for projects. It's also got the flatheads and really quite a wide, broad selection of Phillips heads there. The only other ones I might use occasionally would be the extra long ones, but that's rare. I think I can quite happily, quite safely leave those with the box and just get them out when needed. So let's find the case. Here it is. Things are greasy again. So I might have to rub those down. Although I imagine the grease is actually protecting them from corrosion. But it's not very pleasant to have that kind of smelly grease on your fingers. But yeah, that just clicks together, and it does actually make a potentially useful workspace in that you could drop screws in here. It's got a couple of indentations at the ends, so you could use this to hold screws when you're working on projects. Does it? Yeah, pops in quite nicely. Stick next to it, again, quite nicely. Now, how well is that going to stay on in a case? Oh, actually, it's pretty good. It takes some shaking, so it's in a bag. It's unlikely just to fall apart unless you're shaking your bag around quite violently. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's neat. It's trimmed. They could have put some logo on the outside of that. That'd been quite nice. Not necessary, but you know, quite nice. But yeah, it's a good set for £25 for the case, the stick, the stand, and quite a lot of attachments. I mean, I can't imagine I'll need any other attachments really regularly than what's there. And this is probably going to replace a big bag of very low quality screwdrivers that I've got, because this is actually quite nice. I imagine it actually does lock there, so I think there's going to be enough locking force there for me to even use this manually without having to drive it. I'm not sure if it can be plugged in and run at the same time, but I may try that out later. I don't imagine I'll do it very often though. I think the battery in this lasts for quite a good long while. But yeah, there we go. That's my quick unboxing overview and a very kind of initial look at the Wowstick 1F Plus 69 in 1. It's nice. For £25, I'd say it's very good.